Hi, this is George D. John and Dr. Jeremy Webster. We're talking today about Candida Cleanse. How does someone get too much Candida?
Well, Candida is a yeast that someone gets. If the most common cause, George, without a doubt, is overuse of antibiotics.
Overuse of antibiotics. So everybody's always feeling sick, and they get a little sniffle, they get another antibiotic, you become antibiotic resistant, and you can get Candida.
Because the reason is you get a little bit of a sinus infection, you take those antibiotics for a few days, what happens is they kill bacteria in your sinuses, maybe clear up your sinus infection, but what they do is they also kill all the bacteria in your gut. These are the good bacteria. You're supposed to have 100 trillion bacteria in your gut that do all kinds of important processes like improve digestion, they assimilate certain vitamins like vitamin K, and just make sure that you have normal bowel movements. If you take antibiotics one time, you can kill 90% of those good bacteria in your gut. So what that does is if you can imagine this room full of good people, it's really hard for a bunch of bad people to come in here if we're really full. But if you go in and you kill 90% of those people, then bad people can come in here and start colonizing themselves. That's what yeast does. It colonizes in the gut once it's got opportunity like that. So the more you take antibiotics, the more likely you are to get Candida. And then you compound that with a lot of sugar in the diet. And even fruit juice sometimes can be enough because that really feeds the Candida and kind of makes it really grow.
Right. We often think that by having orange juice in the morning, like your mom said or grandmother said, that you should have here's a glass of juice because they think it's healthy. Well, while the vitamins in it are healthy, too much sugar isn't good for you and can actually help cause or contribute to this problem.
Absolutely.
So how do we do a Candida cleanse?
Well, first of all, you want to go in there with something, I prefer something gentle, although there are drugs that can go in there and kill Candida. But you need to kill the Candida first of all. That's usually the beginning place. Oregano oil works really, really well.
Oregano oil.
And there's also an extract from garlic. The garlic extract is called allicin, but it's very, very unstable unless you have fresh, raw garlic there, or if you have a very special supplement that's where they stabilize that compound. It's very rare, so you have to make sure you have a reputable company that knows how to stabilize garlic. Those can really kill the Candida. But once you've got that done, okay, you've got a room now that has all the bad guys locked out, but it's still kind of a free room. So you want to get those bacteria back. So that's when we start putting in those good bacteria through probiotic use. And you want to get a good balance of lactobacillus, bifidus, things like this. You don't want to just take straight acidophilus. So a good broad spectrum blend of probiotics is how you replenish the bacteria in your gut to keep the Candida from coming back.
What about people who might be watching this video right now that say, okay, we see the marketing that's done with yogurt, just having plain yogurt. Is that enough bacteria? Do we have to have a supplement, or can we rely on that?
It's not really enough. First of all, the bacteria count is very, very low. The second thing is a lot of times they only have one type of bacteria in there. And really, you need a balance of a bunch of different species of bacteria in your gut to really have total balance. Because it's lactobacillus is what they typically use, or acidophilus, in yogurt. And if you get too much of that and not enough of the others, it's really just as bad as having too little. For the most part.
So the way to do a Candida cleanse is get the right type of bacteria and get several different types of them, not just one type, but the amounts also. Right. So basically see your healthcare practitioner for the proper amounts and the proper types of bacteria.
Yeah, that's
good. Dr. Jeremy Webster, George D. John for the Candida Cleanse.